are stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. Absa.
Oh yeah, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, the award-winning Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3 right now. And let me tell you, I'm so glad I could join you for the last hour of all the magic.
I didn't know we were allowed to substitute.
Yeah, man, because
if I'd known that, I would have been like, you and come in, buddy.
It takes two people to do your job, bro. That's how good you are.
Whatever. Or two personalities to match the 9 that are going into my head. But, buddy, we're going to need every personality we have for this discussion.
Absolutely, and I think this is such a pertinent conversation because, listen, when it comes to making purchases, I think one of the biggest decisions we face is whether to pay up front or use credit, like a lay-by as an option, right? So understanding how each choice affects our finances is absolutely crucial for long-term financial health.
So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Using a lay-by plan can feel like an easier way because it is. It's less barriers. It's there right in front of me. I can get the things I want while paying over time. I'll pay for it tomorrow. But it's important to understand the implication of these decisions because this is one of the biggest financial issues South Africa has right now, okay? Can you manage those debt repayments at that interest rate? It can also lead to pressure to keep up with those payments that it doesn't quit. And what happens then if you miss one or more of those payments and go down that rabbit hole? And I think all of us have experienced some kind of financial pressure, committing, maybe taking out an account and then overusing it, thinking, well, I'm not really paying for it right now. But the lay-by option for me is something that terrifies me in that sense because if you can't afford it right now, what makes you think you're going to be able to afford it at 33% more
with all those increases
later?
Yeah, it's
and
scary.
that for me is the crux. And I know I'm grossly oversimplifying it, but I don't know how you feel about this space.
It's tricky for me, and my goal is always to not have to use credit. But unfortunately,
there are times when you got
there's times when we don't almost have a choice. Let's take an example of someone that wants to go for an interview. The opportunity for the interview is happening next week, but he doesn't have the money next week to buy a suit or to shop to look good for the interview, but it might be that investment into a new job. So why not take out the credit to get the suit to look good to get the job? That might be an investment or it might be a risk that doesn't pay off. But either way, you don't really have a choice. Like, what am I going to do? Do I just not go to the interview?
Back yourself, buddy.
Yeah,
Back
you
yourself.
See what I mean?
Borrow a suit.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking, actually. Okay, ideas are coming through.
And I suppose, and maybe you guys can think about this at home, but paying with credit, okay? How does that feel compared to paying with cash? Does it feel, because I often find you divorce yourself from the consequence or the outcome because it's there.
Yeah.
And you kind of assume because the credit is there that it's money sitting in a bank, but it's not your money.
Yeah.
And it comes with a cost, with a price tag. And I think there's, certainly when it comes to those things, like are you going to go and take out that credit to buy a couch? And it will mean a lot to you to have this beautiful couch in your house, and you know it's more than you can actually afford. But there have been so many instances in South Africa where that's been done en masse, where unions have helped their constituents gain access to that kind of funding. And we've seen the negative knock-on effect of. So it's so vital that each individual, each person does the maths before you do it.
Absolutely. And then there's also this thing like buyer's remorse, right? I've found myself in many situations in the past where, let's compare the two, you buy something for cash. Cool, I got it, I earned it. You get that feeling of satisfaction, it's yours. When you're buying something on credit, you get that similar feeling initially, maybe even better because you feel like, I didn't even have to pay that much initially for this and I got it all and I can use it. But then as time goes by, you start getting this remorse of like, I don't know if I'm happy still paying this couch off or paying this item off.
The novelty wore off
The novelty's worn off.
Yeah.
I don't even like this thing anymore. The value's not there.
Maybe it's broken and you haven't even finished
and
paying
now
it
I'm
off
forced
yet.
to pay off this thing that I don't even like. Oh, tell me you know what I'm talking about.
No, the pain is real. The PTSD kicked in, man. And there are risks because you don't know what the future holds, what your earnings hold, what interest rates are going to look like. There are so many things that are out of your control. And I think I say this, and why I'm feeling this is because Black Friday is often where we make those mistakes.
Black Friday, leading up to Christmas as well. I think literally in the next 2 weeks and beyond, it's going to be a month of just external pressures, almost feeling like you're being forced to purchase things because why? That is what we should be asking ourselves. Why should we be putting ourselves on the back foot if we can't afford to do so? face reality and be real with it.
So you got to go through the checklist. Okay, can I borrow it? Okay, if not, can I make it myself? If not, okay, then we start getting more drastic. Now, the bottom line is we can joke about it all you like, but that's how it starts. It feels kind of soft, warm, and squishy during the first phase, and then when you've got to actually make good and start delivering on those repayments, that's when it gets ugly. So please just be careful. Take a pause, a moment to think about it.
Absolutely. Now, whether you are using credit or paying cash, understanding the impact of your choices is essential. So with Absa's tools, you can manage your money wisely, stay on top of your payments, and build a social financial foundation. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, I know it does. So visit absa.co.za and explore the resources that will definitely help you make smarter financial decisions.
Come on.
There are stories of creators, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. Absa.